So at 8:30 our time, Joe Biden will take the oath of office and become the 46th president of the United States. Yesterday, he had an emotional send-off in his home state of Delaware, wiping away tears as he spoke about his late son, Beau.
I only have one regret. He's not here, because we should be introducing him as president.
Most of today's events will take place virtually because of the coronavirus. After Biden and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris take their oaths of office around 8:30 our time this morning, Biden will deliver an inaugural address laying out his vision for his presidency. Then they'll visit Arlington National Cemetery to lay a wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier.
Even with a scaled-down ceremony and celebration today, law enforcement is taking zero chances with an unprecedented level of security. So this is another live look this morning from Washington, D.C. We can tell you that just about every street is blocked off by either National Guard officers or barricades or barbed wire fencing. Get this, the FBI has also been vetting every single Guard member, trying to weed out the possibility of potential extremists in the ranks. And the Pentagon says a dozen Guard members have already been removed. 10 of them were flagged for various reasons, ranging from minor criminal offenses to more serious concerns. 2 other Guard members were flagged over inappropriate text messages, ones that may have expressed extremist viewpoints. And Brenda, local law enforcement is also on high alert today.
They are. As Mike Benner tells us, several agencies came together to say they'll protect people's First Amendment rights, but they won't stand for violence or destruction.
Political violence is not going to be tolerated.
A stern warning from the U.S. Attorney for the District of Oregon on the eve of the inauguration.
For anyone planning on engaging in criminal conduct, you are forewarned. Criminal acts will come with a price.
Billy Williams knows Portland has seen its fair share of civil unrest in recent months, and he's not alone.
Our primary goal for tomorrow is life safety.
Portland Police Chief Chuck Lavelle says he's aware of online posts about direct action events, which in the past have resulted in vandalism and arson. He's canceled all days off for sworn members of the Police Bureau.
We're hopeful that no crimes will be committed tomorrow, but if that's not the case, we'll do everything in our power to make arrests and hold people accountable.
In Salem, another city plagued by violent demonstrations, the Oregon State Police, Salem Police, and Marion County Sheriff's Office will be working together to keep the capital and surrounding area safe.
We're well equipped, we're well prepared to protect and safeguard our community tomorrow and the days ahead.
The FBI is making the same sort of commitment. The special agent in charge of Oregon saying there's always a potential for violence at what he calls soft targets, like minority organizations and houses of worship.
We have no credible information at this time of any planned attacks against soft targets, but we're working to make sure everyone is at that heightened state of vigilance.
And perhaps vigilance has never been more important than it is right now. A new president taking office in some of the most divisive of times.
Rest assured that law enforcement partners at all levels of government here in Oregon are working closely on Inauguration Day.
In Portland, Mike Benner for KGW News.
We want to dip back in and show you this live look this morning. All the American flags. This is where President Trump's send-off ceremony will take place this morning. It's at Joint Base Andrews. He's expected to say a few words. We will certainly carry that live as soon as it happens. Afterwards, he will fly to Florida aboard Air Force One. President Trump is skipping the inauguration, making him just the 4th commander-in-chief to do so. Last night, he released his farewell address.
I took on the tough battles, the hardest fights, the most difficult choices, because that's what you elected me to do. We restored the idea that in America, no one is forgotten, because everyone matters and everyone has a voice.
Vice President Pence will not be part of the president's send-off. He'll be at the inauguration instead. Well, on his final night as president, Donald Trump released a slew of pardons and commutations. They cover almost 150 people, including his former strategist, Steve Bannon. Bannon was indicted back in August on charges of wire fraud and money laundering conspiracy. Now, the president himself and his family are not on that pardon list. Neither is his personal lawyer, Rudy Giuliani. Inauguration coverage begins this morning at 7 o'clock. We'll have NBC's special reports and an hour-long edition of Nightly News, as well as our own special edition of KGW Newscast. Then you can join us here at 11 for a complete wrap-up of this historic day.
All right, let's get to 3 things to know about COVID right now. And number 1, we want to start live at the Oregon Convention Center, where today at noon, the mass vaccination site here will open. And this is really important. A lot of people wondering about this. This is invite only right now, and all reservations are already taken. Right now, only those in phase 1 can get an appointment. Those are healthcare workers or those who work or live in long-term care facilities. Portland's 4 big hospital systems are working together here. Kaiser Permanente will start today. Then Legacy, Providence, and OHSU will join next week. Number 2, on the coast, Lincoln County is the first in Oregon to open up vaccinations for folks 75 and older. This is just for those who live or work in Lincoln County. Health officials say a new shipment of vaccines allowed them to start vaccinating seniors ahead of the state's schedule. They're giving these shots at the Lincoln County Fairgrounds in Newport, but you do have to sign up for an appointment ahead of time. Right now, all of the slots are full. You can get on a wait list at the Lincoln County website. And number 3, if you want to check whether you're eligible to get a vaccine, the Oregon Health Authority has a new online chat tool on its website. It asks you questions, and from there, lets you know if you qualify. In Washington, there's the Phase Finder tool. Just go to findyourphasewa.org. And those are your 3 things to know.
Here's one more COVID headline before we get to Rod's forecast. We know teachers and school staff are next in line to receive vaccines in Oregon. They can start getting those shots this coming Monday. And the state is also releasing some new guidance to get kids back in the classroom. So there's quite a bit to the new guidelines. Here's a few of the bullet points. The state is relaxing the metrics that districts have to meet in order for elementary students to return to campus, allowing for higher COVID case levels in a community than ever before. Schools that are in areas with higher infection rates, though, they will have to offer COVID testing. And here's another one. If a student or their family doesn't want to wear a mask, then distance learning will remain their only option.